You've probably heard that old American saying, right? Life sucks, then you die. It's pretty bleak. But what if I told you that leaning into that kind of pessimism could, weirdly enough, make you, and I'm quoting here, the happiest person I know? How on earth does that work? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
So the idea here isn't that life itself inherently sucks. The problem is our modern approach to it. We're all caught in this frantic, non-stop race where real joy feels, rare. Like it's something you have to schedule and orchestrate instead of something that just happens. And if you look closer, you can see a few of the main culprits. First, there's that Sisyphean work-life balance. Pushing a boulder up a hill for 5 days just to get 2 days of relief before it rolls back down. We've got this insatiable hunger for more. We're constantly chasing perfection, creating these fake Facebookian avatars of ourselves that just make us feel inadequate. And our go-to coping mechanism? The good old ostrich policy. We just bury our heads in the sand and hope reality goes away. Okay, so if that's the mess we're in, what's the way out? Well, the source material for this explainer proposes something pretty radical, a totally counterintuitive philosophy designed for these exact challenges. It's called Entertainism. So what in the world is Entertainism? It's a philosophy for finding well-being through, get this, objective pessimism. Yeah, you heard that right. The name actually comes from the French phrase for to entertain oneself, and its mission statement is just incredibly direct. I am here to entertain myself before I die. No more, no less.
But let's be real. Adopting a whole new philosophy isn't exactly a walk in the park. The source points out that our brains are fundamentally pretty lazy. They're wired to avoid the hard, deep thinking that's required to actually change. They love comfortable routines, so stepping into the unknown, your brain is going to fight you on that every step of the way.
So, where do you even begin? Well, the very first step, the foundation of Entertainism, is this really powerful idea. You have to wipe the slate clean. It's all about building a life based on objective reality, not just the bundle of beliefs you happen to inherit.
And this leads to a really tough question you've got to ask yourself. Really think about it. Your deepest values, your ideas about right and wrong, your cultural identity, did you sit down and consciously choose them, or were they just handed to you?
Because when you dig into it, the reality is, so much of who we think we are was just given to us. We didn't pick our name, our family, our country, or the religion we were born into. All that stuff was basically preloaded into our operating system. Wiping the slate clean means you have to be willing to re-examine every single one of those things.
And this is where it gets really practical. The key is learning to tell the difference between a fact and a feeling. A fact, like this screen is 10 inches, is universal. It's verifiable. It unites people in a shared reality. But an opinion, this screen is beautiful, that's subjective. It's personal, and it divides us. The goal is to operate more like an Excel spreadsheet. Just calculate based on the data without all the emotional bias.
All right, now we get to the part that sounds completely bonkers, the most radical piece of this whole thing, using pessimism as a strategic, positive tool. It all comes down to harnessing the incredible power of having zero expectations. And, this isn't some brand new idea. The Stoic philosopher Seneca was all over this thousands of years ago. He said that our expectations are the single greatest obstacle to living. We get so caught up anticipating tomorrow that, as he put it, we lose today. So let's just compare the two approaches. On one hand, you have typical positive thinking, which often sets really high expectations. And what does that lead to? Frequent disappointment. It makes happiness feel like this rare, huge event you have to achieve. But with Entertainism, you set zero expectations. The result? Anything that isn't a total disaster becomes a reason to be happy. You start finding real joy in the smallest, most ordinary moments of your day. So the mantra is this: before hoping for the best, one must first prepare for the worst. Now, this isn't about being a negative whiner. Not at all. It's about being a strategist. When you prepare for the worst-case scenario, you're never surprised, you're never caught off guard. You're just ready to deal with reality as it actually is, not as you wished it would be. So, once you've wiped the slate clean and you've embraced this idea of objective pessimism, you're finally ready for the last piece of the puzzle, making the conscious, deliberate decision to be happy. This is where you finally take control back.
This all starts with a huge dose of cosmic reality. Ready? In a universe that's been around for 14 billion years, your entire life, all your problems, all your anxieties, is literally the blink of an eye. You are, from a cosmic perspective, completely and utterly insignificant. Nothing you're worried about really matters that much.
But, and this is the incredible paradox, while you are cosmically insignificant, you are also the absolute center of your universe. Your actions, and your actions alone, are the only thing that can create your happiness. In the story of your life, you are the main character, and your first job is to take care of that character.
So how do you actually do that? It comes down to a few concrete steps. First, you have to define very precisely what brings you joy and what brings you stress. Then you identify the hard decisions you need to make to change things. That includes eliminating what the source calls black holes, those people who just drain all of your energy. And finally, you have to act. You have to make the changes, because trust me, if you don't, life has a funny way of making those decisions for you. Ultimately, this whole philosophy is designed to bring you back to one simple, powerful truth. The only moment you actually have is right now, the present. Yesterday is just a memory you can't go back to. And tomorrow, well, tomorrow is just an idea that's not guaranteed to anyone. Living well means living right here, right now. Which really leaves us all with one final, challenging question. If this is it, if this is your one and only shot at this whole experience we call life, what difficult decisions, what necessary changes are you putting off for a tomorrow that might never come? That's the challenge this whole idea leaves us with.